Hey everybody, this is Spasmodic, and I am trying to finish Doom 2016 without jumping. So I bought Doom shortly after it came out in 2016, but my old computer wasn't really up to the task. Even on the lowest imaginable settings, the game barely ran, and it wasn't much fun to finish. I didn't touch it again for another 2 years until recently when I bought myself a fancy new gaming PC. I finished the game again, properly this time, and I loved every second of it. Of course, it wasn't long before I started thinking about how I could approach the game differently. If you're new here at Spasmodic Gaming, this is what tends to happen when I'm gaming. The problem here is that I'm a little bit behind. All of the avenues I would typically take have already been well explored. People have already beaten the game as fast as possible. People have been trying to beat it without taking damage. Some madman even finished the game on the highest difficulty using nothing but a pistol. The only thing that hasn't been attempted, so far as I can tell, is trying to finish the game without jumping. I don't know why I love doing this so much, but I decided to give it a shot. Rather fittingly, the second this idea popped into my head, I realized it would be hell on earth. Because it can't be done. Normally things that can't be done are very attractive to me because I usually find a way around such things, but going through the game in my mind immediately revealed some slight issues. Ignoring the first couple levels for a moment, how on earth do I plan on crossing this pipeline without jumping? So before I even started, I knew I'd have to tackle this project New Game Plus style. If you don't know what New Game Plus is, well, I don't have a satisfying explanation for it either. It's essentially when you finish a game and then play through it again on that same profile, only this time you have all your weapons and upgrades. This injected a sliver of faith into the project for these reasons. I would have access to the micro missiles from the assault rifle, which give you a little boost off of the ground. I would have access to rune upgrades, one of which allows you to move faster after a glory kill, and one that allows for infinite ammo if your armor is high enough, the latter being incredibly useful. And finally, I would be able to use the Gauss cannon whenever I wanted, which gives you a decent vertical boost, particularly when paired with the micro missiles, and it gives you a very respectable horizontal boost when you step off of a ledge, or you find yourself in the air by some means. Now the effects of these tools aren't very dramatic, especially in the area of height, but there happens to be a very handy ledge grabbing mechanic in Doom that I hoped, in many cases, would be enough to conquer most obstacles. So in Doom, you don't have to jump and land on top of a surface like you would see in something like Counter-Strike. In Doom, you can jump at something, and Doom Guy handles the rest with a quick ledge grab and climb. So as long as I got close enough to a ledge, I was golden. So I started playing through the game and made good progress fairly quickly. The first level, the UAC, was daunting to approach, mainly because of the end structure, but to my surprise, it wasn't very difficult. I ran into my first major test on the second level, which was this jump specifically, but thankfully, it's a test that I passed. The Foundry took me a second or two. I ran into some minor snags on the Argent facility, then some problems in Cadinger's Sanctum. Then in the Argent facility destroyed, so of course, the next and most obvious step to take was to boldly declare the game mildly acceptable and possible to finish without jumping. I know it sounds absurd, but I do this a lot as a means of forcing myself to keep thinking and keep going, and it really ended up working in this case. I was writing some notes on the project and I started to wonder if I was throwing everything I could at it. I wrote that it was impossible to finish the game without the use of the micro missiles and Gauss cannon, which is true, but I also wrote that once you drop down to grab the blue key on the UAC, the run is over. I realized I couldn't say that with confidence, so, in the interest of being thorough and dabbling in mild insanity, I tried to finish the UAC without any of my fancy tools. I laughed at the thought initially, but it wasn't long before I realized just how far you can stretch the ledge grabbing mechanic in this game. Now at this point, I would really like to tell you all about my adventures with this project and show you everything I've done, but I don't see the fun in sparing you torture, so I'm not going to do that. Here's what I can tell you right now. The UAC is possible without jumping. You don't need runes, missiles, cannons, nothing. You just need yourself, movement keys, and a mouse. That's it. Before I release my video about the UAC, feel free to give this a go yourself first, and you'll likely come to understand the despair I initially felt when I considered this project. Moving on through the game, resource operations is very simple and can be done without this gap jump. The Foundry is possible, the Argent facility is easily done, but what about the Argent Energy Tower? Is it possible to cross this pipeline without jumping? I'll let you know later, I don't want to spoil that. Yes, it's totally possible, it's just a massive pain in the ass. Amazingly, the Cadinger's Sanctum is possible. The Argent facility destroyed is possible as well, although still daunting at times. The Advanced Research Complex is a piece of cake. The Lazarus Labs are simple. Then Titan's Realm is a bit tricky at one point. The Necropolis is also a bit tricky. But then Vega Central Processing and the Well are an absolute breeze. So in the end, is it possible to finish Doom 2016 without jumping? No. At least not right now. I got a lot further than I thought I would when I first started, but the project has stumped me for the time being. Currently, I can finish the game only having to jump twice, theoretically. I don't yet know how to bring that number down to 0, but I'm looking into it. I'll be able to go more in depth when I start releasing more videos about all this. There's a lot more than I can hope to explain in one video, but as an introduction to the project, I don't think this video is half bad. So that's what I'm working on right now and intend to continue working on in the coming weeks. I'll be going through each level individually and showing you how I finished them, or in some cases, where I got stuck and how I think they might be done. I hope you all stay tuned. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll catch you later. Spaz out.